I'm Al Eggleston, inventor of the SEAL410, Oswego, South Carolina, and we're here to talk about service valves. This is where you're going to find your leaks in your air conditioners, and there's a reason why, and we're out to fix that problem. So let me show you where they leak, and we'll get to some other problems coming up. Here's a snap ring style valve, the old style. There's still a lot of them out there. And this is the dome style, and the reason I call it dome is it kind of looks like a dome. Inside are identical. Big valves, little valves. Let's take a look at these valves. When you get there, you're either going to have the dome-shaped valve, or you're going to have the snap ring valve. Here's another copy of that thing. And various configurations on the outside. All sorts of them. The thing in common about them is that they're all the same on the inside. They all got this plug. No matter what size we're working with, here they are. They're all the same. They all have this rubber O-ring seal that goes across the top. And here's where they leak. That O-ring seal right there is where the leak goes. Goes around out. It's the last of it. They're all the same inside, so let's go ahead and fix this valve here. The dome-shaped valve. We'll get to the snap ring here in just a jiffy. I like to put that tin under there. You lose small parts underneath you lose small parts out there, and they're pretty hard to find again. So, yeah, let's go ahead and fix this valve. Run her down a little bit. In your kit, you're going to have 2 seals, a little bit of a taper there. Put that taper up. You put it down in there, make sure it's seated. Same with that one. Let's put that in there. Make sure it's seated. Put the retainer in it. Back seat the valve. Put the cap back on it. Here we got the liquid side valve. Here we got a little bitty old ring there. It's pretty easy. Yeah, that ain't gonna lay down in there very well. So let's run that down just a little. Put that old ring in there. Snug that up. Now, we want that thing there right about there is fine. You're going to have a choice of 2 different size plugs here. They're both in the kit. This one, nope. This one is going to be the one, but when you turn it upside down, it doesn't stay in the cap. So we're going to put that down there like that. the cap on. That'll make the seal. Pull it down there to where it feels right. And there it is. Repair is complete. Here's the snap ring valve. Let's see what we can do about it. Turn that down a little bit. Take the snap ring out. Put in this big old fat O-ring. Down there. Put in this retainer. This retainer has a chamfer cut. I don't know if you can see it or not here. And when that comes down, that compresses the O-ring onto the inside of the barrel. Put that in there. Put the snap ring back in. Back seat it. Your repair's done. Some valves is just too late. Look at this guy. Man, don't tell him what's been running around in that system for many years. Might be time for a whole new setup. Check this weld out here. Boy, that's a real sweetheart. How do you know which kit you're going to use? The bigger one, which is 7/8 tubes on it. This one's a 3/4, so we're going to call that either the Dome 75 or no, we're going to call it the Dome 3/4. And this is going to be the Dome or Snap 7/8, 78. So let's just take the cap. If a quarter will drop in it, we want the 78 valve. Quarter won't drop in it. It takes a 3/4 inch. While we're here, let's take a look at some of these caps here. They've had blowouts. This one really blew out. How many valves you've seen that has the blue stuff? Teflon tape, they still leak. He didn't fix nothing. So let's just get rid of them things. Now let's talk about the Schrader core now. We want to make sure they're not leaking too. These old caps like these, they've had their day. I'd get rid of them. This hexagon one is really peculiar. It used to be that you'd put Teflon tape on it or the gooey stuff, and if you had a leak that they just, and they'd come down there with a wrench and tighten it up, and that's the worst thing you can do. What that does is bend that flange right there. Now you can't get the Schrader valve out. So then you're about stuck with a valve change. and probably not a happy customer. And it takes about 4 hours. You lose all of it. It's just a mess. It's just best to avoid it. So always check your Schrader valve. Make sure it's not leaking. Check it after. Where did I put the soap? Oh, just a minute. Check it after you take the hoses off. We've had them leak after the hose is over, not before. And we haven't been, or I haven't been, very successful with the leak detector. The leak detectors are really good in a lot of places, but not at the service valve. Let's get some suds going there. I always like to use a bubble. If that valve's going to leak, you're going to see it right there. So soap suds will work. Get you a new valve, put it in there. If there's pressure in it, you're going to need this tool. This old guy's been around a long time. It's been a good one, but it leaks. So bite the bullet, buy a brand new one. Put a new Schrader in it, and make sure it don't leak after the hoses are off. Get rid of the cap, put new caps on with good rings. We don't want that valve leaking none. And there you go.